All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome out. It's good to see you. We're going to give it just a couple minutes, let the stragglers come in. You should be able to see my screen. All right, let's get started. Sorry for the delay. You should see my screen. Welcome out, everyone, to the Market Watch Group Weekly Market Wrap. My name is Scott. I will be your host, of course. Market turned bullish today. Who saw it? Who's trading it? What are you doing with it? Here's the disclaimers. As always, education, illustrative purposes, manage your risk. We're not advisors. Here's our agenda. We're going to look at today's market analysis. We're going to look at the posture and what has changed. And if it's changed, has it gotten better or worse? I feel like it's still going to improve. Conditions are looking pretty strong. Got to understand that. It's important for us to have a strong sense of context and then how we're going to move forward under the umbrella that context creates. We want to have mindset for trades being carried over, whether you have some that you're keeping. Maybe you had some that stopped. Anybody have that? I did. I had one that I took early that took me out. Let me know if you took any trades that have not come to fruition. Are there new trades that you're taking today? I think there probably is or will be. What to look for next week? We're going to review our shopping list today, obviously, and wrap up section 5 routines. Remember, that's the section we've been on, making sure that your daily, weekly, and monthly routines are defined. the windows of time are open, and the activities in those are predefined, and you know exactly. Look, here's the deal. You should never, in trading, there should never be a time where you sit down and you're like, well, what should I do now? What do you mean? Follow your routine. If it's in the morning, follow your pre-market routine. And it's going to have you looking at market conditions. It's going to look at the futures, look at the news, look at the positions that you're in. Do you have stops in place? Do they need to be moved? Has anything changed? Right? Everything you do can be preordained, predefined in this routine exercise. And it just makes everything faster and more efficient. If you don't have it, get it. All right, let's dive into it. Oh, look at Apple. Look at Apple just dancing for us on this list. Looks fantastic. Everything that we wanted, we've been waiting for. We now have in place. Yesterday it turned here, but it wasn't here. Now what? Now we have price going the right way. So we have this consolidation, finding support, starting to turn. Stochastics is looking pretty good. That's what we're looking for. Let's go to the market first, though. It's quiet out there. I'm asking what you're doing. No one's answering. Anyone putting new trades on today or in the last couple of days? Do you have trades on that you're carrying through the weekend? Do you have trades that you didn't take? And if so, why? Why'd you hesitate? Give me some things for us to speak on. And hello, Perry. If I didn't say it earlier, I was just looking at my chat. I didn't see it. Okay, what else? So first and foremost, today's market. So we opened down a little bit today. The futures were up overnight. We opened down a little. And then they kind of pushed to the bottom a little bit. But then we saw it starting to bounce off. So the buyers came in. Did they come with volume? Nope. Do we need it? Nope. We actually did get a volume day yesterday. You'll notice it was a positive day. This is where we finished. This is where we started. So we advanced. Got out of the hedge today. Perry said, smart. I like that. I like that. I did the same. I'll tell you why I did, and you can tell me if you agree. AIG, PLTR, might get into Apple at the close. Perry, love it. Love what you're looking at, man. Fantastic. So there's the candle, there's the volume, there's what this. Now look at your stochastics. Starting to turn without coming down here. Google put January. Okay, January on Google. Got it. We'll see Google. That's on our list. We'll take a look at it. Posture. Where were we? Where are we going to be? Long-term trend 0.75. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Long-term trend 0.75. You can see it, but let me step out anyways. That's false. We did not get all the way up there. I don't know where that's coming from, but this candle right here is accurate. So yeah, we're right in the middle of the channel. Great. Nothing we need there. SPY. It is sideways consolidation, then it's starting to turn. This comes down, it's starting to turn. It looks pretty good. Press says active at the beginning of the week with 3 gold plays, PLTR rising slowly. Slowly better than not at all. TLT bond play starting to rise. Yeah, there you go. I like it. Press says he's ready to trade. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's look at the VIX real quick, and then we're gonna oh no, sorry. So last week we scored it a 1/4 of a point higher. I think I'm going to give it one more. We're going to consider this a higher low. Now that I've got the stochastics turning, then yes, I am going to look at this level here as having been the low that we're now bouncing off of, and we're getting that confirmation right there. That's going to give us an extra 1/4 of a point. Nothing on the long term, 1/4 point on the short term. Okay, volume. Volume, we got one more day. So let's go look at what volume is going to show us. At this point with volume, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That was above average volume and it did advance. I mean, it advanced almost 0.5%. So it wasn't a huge day, but it was definitely more for the buyers. So what am I going to do with volume now? Definitely going to put volume at 0.5 point. So we've already got 0.5 point right there. I wouldn't expect much from major market, though. The IWM may surprise us. Nothing on sector. Sector is pretty much fully loaded. I mean, if we see a little more strength, maybe I would kick it to a full 1. And then the VIX. Now, what is the VIX showing us? Well, let's go take a look. What did the VIX do? Same in reverse. We bottomed, we went up, and now we're rolling over. Lower high. Lower high. That's what's telling me to take my half a hedge off. For what price? Let me see if I can tell you what the hedge cost me. Can I? 432. Yeah, not much, not even half on a half of a trade. Less than quarter of a loss of a regular trade. No harm, no foul. What's been going good? Well, let's go take a look at that. So our posture is going to increase, I would say, at least 4.75. Maybe we get back to 5. We haven't seen 5 cents. And I want you to notice where it's the first time. So we were coming out of it in May, and then by June 18th, we called it a 5. Okay, why is that important? Because if I go back and I look at that period of time now, through here, April, May, you can see how it was kind of chopping sideways. But by this point here, where am I? Right in here. By this area here, fully convinced, and we had more to go with. Actually, we had even before that, I think. But what we're seeing right now is we've got more upside. The bulls are there. The strength is there. Everything that we're looking for definitely looks strong right now. Let's go to our watch list. Apple. If you hadn't thought about it, I definitely consider this an opportunity. What would I do? I would think about a stop loss down here around 187, 187.5. That's not even 5 points, right? Right here, that's 4 points. What am I looking to get? I mean, it's not like I'm getting one of these, but I do think I should be able to get something like this. I got more than that here. I got more than that here. So if I got something like that, that's going to put me back up in this area, right? So now all of a sudden I'm looking for 199, and I think I would put my stop maybe just below this low at this point. 180. I'd probably go maybe 3.5 points stop, 8 points to the upside, maybe even 9 to the upside. Whether you build a stock, whether you build an options trade, that's the kind of thing that we're looking for right here. The setup, the signal, the sector, the stock, everything about this in line. So we'll see who takes it and then who's trading it going into next week. Apple or Adobe, not quite there yet. Still sliding a little bit. Still coming down. That's a nice candle of that says the sellers may be done, but we're not sure yet. So what am I looking for? Monday, Tuesday, maybe. So there's going to be, we had some signals already show up this week. We have signals today, and we have signals that are likely to come. The window is not like, oh, you only have 1 day, 2 days. There's different areas of the market that are going to give us different things to look at and play with at different times. The windows are absolutely going to be different. So yes. Okay, what's next? Let's go. Where was my list? Aflac. Oh, so Aflac. I know a couple of you were thinking about this. I took PJR off my list. I thought actually AIG was the better of the two, and was one that I put on yesterday. As it was turning out of this, you can see this is kind of what Adobe looks like today, right here. Looked like this. And we're thinking that could come anytime. If we think it could come anytime, our objective is to try to be in. I'm not telling you you're trying to catch it here. I'm trying to catch it by the halfway point, which is about where I got it, right through this area here. So that I can have my stop loss underneath here and then have my target set higher up. That's what I'm looking for. I would say at this point, if I wasn't in one of these, I would actually say Aflac looks like it has given you more of an opportunity to catch it closer to the support. My opinion. I don't think either one is better than the other. AMD, I did have a trade fail, and Intel this week. Great. No, what are you going to do? Sometimes you eat the bear, sometimes the bear eats you. AMD also looking very similar. A lot of the technology are. Amazon, close, but not yet. A lot of this in financials. We talked about PNC. That was one that I took. That one's looking great. We talked about the fact that this very well could be your consolidation, and that you would have to trade coming out of it without a whole lot. Sometimes we get nice textbook consolidations. Other times it looks like this. People always ask me, are we too late? For me, yeah. You're chasing this one. If you asked me that question on Wednesday, I would have said maybe not. Here's what we'd have to do. So this would have been the last day. I'm going to leave that circled. I'm going to erase these two things. Oh, no, I want that circled. Hold on. Let's just toggle this back to the Heiken Ashi. That's the first. This was a white day, but these were still kind of transition days. That's the first momentum candle. What distinguishes a momentum candle? Bigger body, no lower shadow. Or if it's red, bigger body, no upper shadow. So you'll notice when the momentum is right, you have all these momentum candles. Big body, no shadow. Big body, no shadow. Over, 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 over. Then you got one with a shadow, but it never actually took out the prior day, and then it got you all the way to here. All the way to here. You'll notice these just keep on going. They go up and then they pause, and then they go up and then they pause, and then they go up. And so if I can catch it on the second, let me show you what those would look like on this last move. That's the second one right there. That's the second one right there. That's the second one right there. So we're saying it's already come through. This is the consolidation. This is your consolidation, right? Those are the things. So hopefully that gives you some extra construct to use with your signals to help understand, am I too late? If I've already missed the first one, yeah, you're just catching up. Like someone's like, look, this thing's been moving for several days already. You want in? Nah, but I'll put it on my watch list and maybe I'll catch it next time. Boeing, same. Will those happen in real time? Those Heiken Ashi candles? Yeah, they'll show up exactly like that. And you can change them. There's times where I'll go in and I'll be like, you know what? For example, Boeing, if I was in Boeing now, I feel like it's starting to slow down. I don't want my stop all the way back here. If it's at 233 and my stop's here, I'm at 224. That's a long ways away. What can I do? I can come in here and I can move this to a 4-hour chart. And you'll notice now my stop would be at 230. Not at 224 down here. I'd be at 230. And I'd be ready to move my stop and right? So you can see that there's these little sub moves in here, and I'd be thinking, hey, this thing, when this comes to an end, I want out. So yes, they are real time, but they are lagging because they're calculated. So don't forget that. All right. BK, very similar. A lot of these have a similar look. Why? Because BK is financials, BX is financials. City is financials. We talked about City. We talked about City on Wednesday. Did anybody look at that one on Wednesday? Perfect signal coming out of this consolidation. Now it's moving again. We talked about City. We also talked about PNC. We'll see that one later. Capital One looks similar. Oil, not so much. Costco, I'm not convinced. That would be too hard for me. Why? Because I'm trying to anticipate. This is pinched but hasn't crossed. I've got a long shadow, so my stop would have to be like this. So I've got a lot of risk if I take this trade. I would rather either miss the trade or wait to see if it happens to come back down a little bit like this again and give us more of one of these. And then I could trade coming out of that if this comes down again. We don't have much time. We don't have much time. So, yeah. Got out right before the pullback. Love it. Love it, press. Well done. Good timing. Copart, close. 2 hammers in a row. This thing looks like it's getting ready. It's starting to pinch early next week. Trade opportunity. CrowdStrike, there's nothing there. That's overextended. There's nothing we can do with that. DHI. I know a couple people took this one. I did not. I didn't like it. I didn't like this doji and then this hammer, and then all of a sudden, bing, it goes. So those of you who did pull the trigger, well done. It would have been, you would have had to have sweat a little bit in here, right? You would have had to have sweat in here, and then it comes down. DIA pushing higher. Fastenal. Okay. Okay. I did not catch this one. Did anybody? Didn't see it. You can see the turn is there. This is turning. It's kind of a big one. On something like this, if I don't catch it, like I want to catch it as it's crossing yesterday's high if possible. I'd rather wait and see if I get like an open in this area tomorrow to try to catch it, right? This isn't just a done deal and now it's just going to take off. That's never the case, right? That's never the case. So yeah, I definitely want to keep an eye on it. Here's an example back here where you can kind of see it. It looks like, oh, there's the turn, but then it gives us this opportunity before it goes a little further. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for, something along those lines. But I do like that we are identifying these, and these are the right ones. I'll look to see if there's anything else within my industrial wheelhouse and then move forward with that. Gold, nothing there for us right now. Google, okay, someone said they had a put. It's dropped, but I want you to be careful because overall, this is our trajectory as of right now, right? The sellers have come in, but it hasn't really broken below this old consolidation level. We're in that consolidation level. So be very, very careful with that. Right? Be very, very careful with that. Because I think that if the sellers don't come much further and all of a sudden it comes down and then it starts to turn around and you see this thing give you that turning signal like over here, you can see what happens after that. it tends to go up. So be ready for that. Be ready to get out of one side, catch it to the other side. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. GPS, man, just when you thought it was overextended, it's up another 4%. I was at Gap the other day. I didn't see that many people in there. Home Depot, same thing. Look at your retail. Look at your, let's pull up the, look at your consumer discretionary. Where's my heat map? There it is. Nope. Reload. Defensive, struggling a little bit. Consumer cyclical, however, look at this. Other than Tesla, look at all that green. Microsoft is down a little bit. That's beautiful. I want Microsoft down a little bit. I want to trade it. This was down a little bit. Now it's moving. This looks like it's close. This looks like it's close. These look like they're close. We've got things setting up for us still. Let's not be too worried. IBM. Nope. Just keeps getting a little bit more extended. That was not enough. That's hard. This is a hard consolidation through here, right? That wasn't much. This one was okay. Caught that one, made some money on it. Then what? Waiting for the train to slow down a little. Let us catch a ride. ICE kind of looks like that one could go. Maybe wait for the Heiken Ashi. Maybe you go, yeah, maybe wait one more day and then take the Heiken Ashi as a continuation signal. Nothing wrong with that if you're not convinced. Intel took me out early today. Early today, it took me out. It was looking pretty good. It was looking pretty good to bounce, and then it just like, but I got in early. So a couple of days out, basically a break even, basically a wash. No harm, no foul. IWM, oh, small caps. Look at you. Goodness gracious. I said the small caps. I said I like them. JP Morgan, overextended, certainly gave us an opportunity. KKR, same thing. Meta, I'm fine with this. I'm not, because this occurred when it was overbought and it was all, I'm okay with this thing if it can stabilize through here. Not much lower, but yeah, this looks great. This looks like it's ready to turn. Microsoft looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. Apologies, Michael, if I hope you weren't in there very long. It didn't ding when you came in. I saw you and I put you in as soon as possible. I hope it wasn't more than a minute or two. Yeah, Microsoft looks fantastic for a setup. All set for next week for a trade. Love it. Netflix is close. Close. You might think it accelerated today. I'm okay with that because the volume didn't. The volume didn't. And as long as I keep it somewhere above like 451 or 2, fine with me. I'm fine with that. NVIDIA, and hello to you, Michael. Good to see you. NVIDIA, I still think is viable here. You can see it stabilizing from yesterday. I said it has to be now or not at all. All we need now is a confirmation turn. PDD, waiting for the pullback. Nothing there. PLTR, like Press said, it's slow. It's a little slow. That's fine. Slow's better than against. I don't love that candle right there. Don't love that candle. Definitely would like to see that improve. PNC. Woo. That's my dog right there. We talked about this one and the beauty of its setup earlier this week. Anybody jump in this one for a financial? Because this looks fantastic. Small pullback, no vol. Look at the volume on this pullback. Nothing there. Then it starts to turn. Plenty of opportunity to get into this trade with confirmation. Now it's going the right way to new highs. Love it. Love it. We said financials and industrials are two of our favorites. Those are moving sooner. The window opened sooner there. RCL. I think that gave a signal, but I didn't take it. It's an interesting one. Roku, communication services. Rolling over, pulling back, getting close. Shopify. We'll see. SMCI, we'll see. Snap overextended. SPY still looking bullish today. Tesla, nothing there yet. UBS. So at this point with financials, yeah, you missed it. If you have it, you're in it, great. If you missed it, you missed it. Industrials, probably much the same. Although we have some still. I mean, Copart looks like it was still setting up for industrials, so maybe that's not true. Definitely financials. Communication services, technology, still plenty of opportunity developing for us there, right? Plenty of opportunity developing for us there. UNP, what did I say? Industrials. If you're in it, you're happy. If you missed it, you're late. You can't do it. We can't chase that. Visa, overextended in financials. The VIX looks fantastic. We're so low. We're reacclimating to life in the 12s, 13s, 14, right? Low teens. WMB, I wish I would have, but I didn't. I didn't like the weakness in the sector, even though I did like this one as the strongest of the group. Anybody take this one? I thought a couple people were looking at it with me. Walmart. Wow, that's why when Walmart did not break this, I'm skeptical. And now that it's breaking the downside, although it's held. The shadow tested below, but this is held for now. This 155, 154 support level. That's iffy. That is looking dicey for Walmart. XLB, strong. Took it as a put. Did you take it on this failure here? Is this where you took it? Oh, you took WMB as a put. Sorry. WMB. Walmart. Yes, Walmart. Now I'm confused. All right. XLB materials breaking higher. XLC communication services setting up. This looks fantastic. Smashes higher, new high, pulls back, higher low. Looking for the turn. Looking for the signal to come. Communication services, which means what? That's what I'm looking for Google. That's what I'm looking for Meta. That's what I'm looking for from Roku. That's what I'm looking for from EA. Right? These are the things. Energy. Nothing. Just flat. Good. Financials just keeps breaking out. Good. I mean, it's if you're in it. If you're not, again, you got to be patient. Let's just hope the momentum continues. Having momentum in 5 different sectors gives us a lot of breadth and a lot of strength in our overall conditions. XLI. Industrials. Strong. We needed to catch it though. And we still need to maintain that, right? Like the momentum's there. So what are you doing? Buying the dips. Buy the dips. Buy the dips. Any thoughts on gold? Oh, Press is going to ask me questions about gold. Come on, Press. You know my relationship with gold. I watch it. Every time I think I've got to read and trade it, it slaps me around and I'm like, yeah, screw you, gold. Any thoughts on gold reaching new highs, not pulling back like it has, especially considering the backdrop of, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is gold used to have a defensiveness, an intermarket correlation of defensiveness that since crypto really hasn't existed. Could be the weaker dollar. So you can see here, we haven't looked at that in a while, but we talked about, right? Remember back in October, we're like, look, if this thing starts to roll back over to the downside, great. And you can see now, it does look like we have a trend. So the dollar topped out right about here, and we now have this in place. So let's correlate that to gold and see if we think that has something to do with it. I mean, it was already pretty strong prior to the dollar showing that weakness, right? We already got this but then it did come back higher low. We did break the high. It is pushing higher still, just moving up that overbought ladder. It looks strong. I don't see it as defensive, but I don't know. That's a good question. Only thing I do know is that I'm wanting to buy a couple pieces of precious metal for my kids for Christmas, and it's making it more expensive. Wanted it down here. I don't think that's unreasonable. Okay. Where were we? So hopefully that helps. I don't know. I watch it. It's hard to say. I would maybe just kind of see if you can find a commenter who seems to have a good read on it. I'm not that guy. I watch the precious metals, but I don't really trade in them very much. If I'm going to do commodities, it'll be more inclined to be oil and natural gas. Here is, where were we? Technology. Technology also looks strong, but also seems to still be in consolidative mode. So consolidating still is technology and communication services. Already given signals and moving bullishly is industrials and financials. The other one that we want to think about, we'll get there in just a second. Here is Staples. Steady Eddie. Not showing like, oh, there's a big desire and surge in demand for the defensive sector of Staples, nor do we see anything regarding utilities. Both just look somewhat steady. I would actually put consumer discretionary in the same boat as technology and communication services. I see this more as trying to work its way out of this. It's a weird one because it's like this whole thing has almost been consolidative. We're not quite sure. We did get, this time we got price, but not stochastics. Other times we got stochastics, but not price. Yeah, I mean, if I have an individual signal, I would feel pretty comfortable with it, but I think we're still kind of waiting for confirmation on consumer discretionary, which would involve autos, travel, leisure, retail apparel, things like that. Okay. The plan. We finished routines. So you should have a clearly defined window of time and order of events and list of events for what you do before the market opens, what you do during market hours. I have actually 2 of those. I'm going to put that in here. Oh, I can't. Never mind. I was going to put in brackets ×2 question mark, because yeah, you might have different routines. Do you have a routine for after market close? Do you have a weekend routine? Do you have a monthly routine? Great. Next, record keeping. A lot of you have been doing a lot more work on your record keeping. I love it. There's discussions about the spreadsheets. This is a numbers game. If you're going to play a numbers game, you better know the numbers. So you better have some mechanisms, some structures in place to help automatically generate those numbers, let you see it. That's our next 2 weeks. Next week, we're going to talk about record keeping. The week after, we're going to talk about your analytics. They're part and parcel to each other as a big routine of how we learn, how we improve, how we implement new ideas, and then track to see if those new ideas are working or not. That is our plan. Additionally, I have a couple of time changes next week. I will put it in an email as well, but just be aware that the Monday, the good news is this: if you come early, there'll be a message that just says, hey, we're starting about 45 minutes late. That's all we're doing. Instead of starting right before the market and watching in the opening range, we're going to start right after the opening range and watch the next hour. That could be, I mean, I don't know. Eventually we may change that. I like to talk before the market and kind of talk about our setups, but it may be better where we don't find as many trades because we're watching the opening range. Whereas if we do watch it in the second hour, then it does open a potential round of a trading window for any signals you think are valid coming out of the opening range. So look for that. That will be Monday and Wednesday. I thought it was only Monday, but it's going to be Monday and Wednesday. Also, next week, we are starting the Options Foundations course on Tuesday. Very excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, possibly next week, I'm going to introduce you to a second coach who's going to be helping out, doing some sessions, doing some video creation, filling in for me if I might be missing and having a little bit more presence. His name is Gary. I'm not sure for 100% yet if he's going to do one next week or if it'll be the week after, but that's coming as well. Lastly, Discord. I'm going to sing it until I'm blue. Some of you are really taking advantage of it, starting to interact and generate some nice conversations. Honestly, I mean, I could see people connecting and forging like trader partnership questions where they're like, hey, I'd really like somebody to, to just, sync with and instant message and chat during trade. I mean, trading can be lonely. It's nice to validate. It's nice to hear another opinion. It's nice to get another perspective. You can sound off in there and get the group. You can start to forge relationships from people in there as that they're on the same path as you. They analyze the market the same way. They work off the same trading plan structure. They keep records and analytics the same way. So it makes it easy for us to have discussions because we've standardized our process and our language and our resources. So please, I'm going to send a new link out. If you haven't, sign up, start jumping in. We're going to keep trying to have formal windows of time at various intervals. Some I'll be able to go to, some I won't, but make sure you take advantage of that. So a lot going on, a bullish market, us trying to improve our services for you, everybody participating a little bit more. I like the way we're wrapping up the year. Questions, comments, or concerns, give them to me now. Nothing. Amazing. Fabulous. All right. Well, listen, have a great weekend. Sunday morning, we'll be back here together, 11 a.m. for our weekly market posture. Looking for that posture to improve, looking for the bullishness to continue. Very nice. I'll be anxious to see what trades you have carried through the weekend and what you bring into next week. And I am very, very anxious for us to get started on the options program in December. Thank you, everybody, very much. Appreciate you coming, hanging out. Appreciate your participation. As always, happy trading.